ID number, the very first time they log into that back office, their password is their zip code. They'll be prompted to change that password to anything they want it to be, and on the very first page, they can put temporary cards for their plan. They can call you from the dentist office, sitting in the chair, I'm about to get a root canal, I need a dental plan. You can get them signed in, they can use it immediately. Important to know, but the next day they can print it out. When you're talking with a prospect, sometimes Janie is the one who always says this, information doesn't sell, the stories sell. When you lose track of the stories or you don't have a story of your own, go to Ameriplan.com, go to the frequently asked questions section, and then there's also a testimonial section in there. And you will see other people's stories. Borrow those, use them to help you build your business. And those stories, by the way, have to be true, or Ameriplan is not allowed to post them. That's your social proof. Okay, so our dental program, it competes with any dental insurance program in this country. We have insurance agents in this room, they'll tell you the same thing. $60, $70, $80 a month for dental insurance, and it's just dental. Our package has several other benefits attached to it at a discount. Those $60, $70, $80, and $90 a month dental plans will sometimes take 6 months before you can use it for a root canal. Anybody have a calculator for 60 times 6? That's $360 into your plan before you can use it for that root canal. On Ameriplan, what's that root canal cost you? $280, $300. It's less than what and then they're taking that percentage, and you're paying 60/40 at that point anyway. So what are you signing up for? You're signing up for free cleaning once a year, $60 a month. I got news for you. You can get your teeth cleaned for less than that. There's oftentimes a 6-month waiting period, so keep that in mind when you're talking with prospects. It's a really nice way to share Ameriplan. You can see a provider right away. We already talked about that. Just your member ID number. Anyone under your roof can use the plan. Doesn't matter whether you're related or not. A household is a household. If you have grown children that have moved out of your house, nobody says, where do you live? When you go to the dentist, just put the birthday, put them in the system. It's okay. Things like cleanings, fillings, root canals, crowns, the things people most often go into the dentist for, you're looking at the 40 to the 70 and 80% off range. Those are pretty considerable discounts. The seeing a specialist and even cosmetic things like getting your teeth whitened, insurance doesn't touch a whitening. But our plan will discount it from 15 to 25% depending on what fee schedule you live in. If a dental provider isn't in the network in your area, referral at AmeriPlanUSA.com. Make sure you put the name of the provider, the type of provider, all the information about that provider that you can, and the name of the patient that goes to that provider. You can't just take a page out of the phone book, send it to corporate and say, here, go get me all of these providers. They need your name, if it's your dentist, or your client's name as a foot in the door to the provider. The client doesn't need to have already signed up. They just need a name. Now, if you're in a market where we're short on providers, Ameriplan is a 26-year-old company. So you might be saying to yourself, 26 years, why aren't they in this market? It's not that they haven't tried to be in small town USA. Small town USA is very tight-knit, and in those communities where we're in line markets are areas where providers aren't usually willing to give a discount. You're dealing with a provider who is the only gig in town. That provider's got a line out the door. They don't need to discount their fees, and they're not going to. So there are some markets that are a little more closed. Please don't let that deter you. If you're in a market where we're short on dentists, we have telemedicine, we have hospital advocacy, we have pharmacies, we have the vision part of our plan is all over the country, so keep that in mind as well. Okay, the vision plan. How many times have you had a client call you up and say, I called my eye doctor and they don't take Ameriplan? Right. Yeah. Ameriplan is not the name of our vision plan. It is called Coast to Coast Vision. Our dental package is an Ameriplan proprietary network. That's our network of providers. We physically call them ourselves. We put them in our network ourselves. We buy into the coast-to-coast and call side vision networks. If you flip your card over, there's their logos on the back of the card. You are not going to get earth-shattering savings on an office visit to the eye doctor. That is not your pull in your conversation with your prospects. They may save $10, $20, $30 on the office visit. They can go get a Groupon for the vision screening that's going to be cheaper than that. You're not competing with that. The eye doctors make their money on the glasses and the contacts. And so that's where there's a lot of wiggle room. Okay, so your eye exam, they go in, they get their eyes checked. You get your prescription. If you have your prescription in hand, they don't like to give you your prescription. They want to sell you the glasses. They want to sell you the contacts. So they get grumpy on you when you're like, okay, I had my exam, can I have my prescription, please? It's in your right to ask for it. Ask for it, take it home. You can go to Ameriplan.framesdirect.com. You can order your own contacts. You can order your own glasses. Now, why would I want to order glasses without trying them on? Try them on. What do you think that eye doctor is doing? You try them on, you hand them to the eye doctor, they put a little note, this is the frame this client wants, and they send it out. You're cutting the middleman out of that. You're going to save more money on Ameriplan.framesdirect.com than you will at the eye doctor. Now, you'll still have savings at the eye doctor. Some people don't want to be bothered with that. You'll still get that savings, but you'll do better there. I have 5 kids. They all wear glasses and contacts all the time. We have an ongoing conversation with the eye doctor every time we go. They say, okay, this time we're going to do better than Ameriplan on the contacts. I'm like, all right. Pull it up on my phone. I'm like, 62. He's like, never mind. Like, just give me my prescription. So, that's how it works. The prescription part of our plan is important for you to know, even in the insurance industry, pharmaceutical is the most volatile part of any plan. It is an industry where if you have one company making a drug, they can charge whatever they want for it. Fatima has definitely experienced that. $2,500. That's crazy. If the drug is made by 2 companies, they get a little more competitive. If the drug is made by 3 or more, we often do better than insurance. It's worth checking. So if you go online, did I put the website? If you go online, you can locate providers and you can search in your zip code the medication that you're looking for. Right on the homepage, there's a 90-day order form that you can fill out. You'll get better savings there. Never mind the manufacturers making prices cheaper or more expensive, depending on if they're the only gig in town. Each pharmacy has a supply and demand thing going too. If your Walgreens has more Prozac in stock than your CVS, your Walgreens is trying to get rid of stock, they're going to charge less. So you'll see a list of the pharmacies in your area with the best prices. Do not lead with pharmaceutical when you're talking with your prospects. You'll get somebody on the phone, you'll find out you can save them $4 on their medication, but wait, can you pay me $24.99 a month for the plan? You don't want to be stuck in that conversation. There are some drugs where we are better than insurance, and it's amazing. But if you get stuck in that conversation with a prospect, it's an additional benefit on an already awesome dental plan. So you get this alongside it. You can use Ameriplan or your insurance. You can't use them both. But it takes 2 seconds to have your pharmacy run both ways. So just say, I want you to run both ways. Which way is cheaper? That's what I want.
By the way, you have to do that before they go through. I just wanted this. Before they finish it, enter everything before. Not saying when they actually, okay, this is total receipt, but it's a lot harder for them to go through the insurance company and then go backwards to Ameriplan. So you want to go with Ameriplan first. It pisses them off.
Oh, I don't care. I'm from New Jersey. I can piss them off all day. Yeah, then all they have to do is rip it off and start over. I mean, I don't care. Yeah, they can run it either way, and you're right. If they run an Ameriplan first, it might be easier for them, but I don't care. Okay, no one part of our plan is to draw the program, just like I was saying. It's all as an inclusive whole. Chiropractic, most insurance programs cover a limited amount of chiropractic. So the benefits are limited, sometimes it's once a month, whatever it is. On our plans unlimited, it's 30% off the cash price. If a client goes to chiropractor weekly, cash price is $50, they're paying $35, they're saving $15 every time they go. If they go 4 times a month, you're looking at a $60 savings. The diagnostics at the chiropractor are half price. X-rays, MRIs, whatever you're getting done. An MRI is expensive. If you're getting that at half price, you're doing really well. And then the initial consult is free. Telemedicine, who love this part of our program. If you can avoid going to the doctor, $25 as a phone call for what we would call a diagnostic call, $25 is cheaper than most copays. You're in a position where you can do better from home, and I'll tell you that there's a lot of things you don't think that you could call for. My daughter had an ear infection, and I was like, I really need to look at her ears, but I'll call anyway. What's the harm? $25, right? I made the call, and I said, I've never prescribed that daughter medication by phone before. We'll get her an antibiotic. If it works, great. If it doesn't, bring her to the doctor. Done. It was awesome. So it's a good thing to know when you're talking with your prospects. I just want to share a testimonial with you to prove that the stories are what sells for your clients. If you're wondering about the telemedicine testimonials, look at how much money she saved versus no insurance, $143.50 on her Ameriplan testimonial for telemedicine. Hospital advocacy. This part of our plan works for people with high deductibles, people with no insurance, people who are above that Medicare line and are paying an astronomical amount of money, people who are flying by the seat of their pants and hoping nothing happens to them. Okay, hospital advocacy, $1,500. One thing you don't or may not know about that is if you go into the hospital, you don't say, I have Ameriplan, wait. You go into the hospital, you're a cash patient. No doctor or nurse in that hospital has any idea what anything costs, I promise. They don't know. It's the business office that does all your billing. So you're gonna go in, you're gonna get seen, you tell them you're a cash patient. If you have insurance, give them your insurance. Whatever's left over is when Ameriplan will kick in. And then you come home, you give them whatever you need to give them to go home, which is usually $100. This is a great tool for prospecting. It is single-handedly worth $39.95 a month. Right. Some people have insurance plans with $10,000 deductibles that are $300 and $400 a month. Right. Ridiculous. Ancillary services. Do not forget about MedStat. MedStat is amazing to me because they have a doctor there. So now you go to the doctor gives you a little form to go get your lab work done. So now you've paid for your doctor's visit, then you go get your form, and then you go to the farm, you get yourself pricked and all of that, you're gonna get your results, and then you gotta go back to the doctor to get them to read your results. They've got a doctor there. So they will order, if you get blood work every year and you know what you're getting done, you call up and you order it yourself. You skip the doctor, you order your blood work, they will send you the results if they're normal. And they'll call you if they're not normal. That cuts out the middleman on your annual stuff all the time. Other ancillaries, MRIs, CAT scans, LASIK. Let me go back there a minute. I'm going to share a quick MRI story for you. I had an MRI done on my knee. I used to be a runner, and my whole right side is like this. But my knee was gigantic, and I went in, had an MRI scan done for $305 on Ameriplan. I got a bill in the mail from the company for $2,400 or $2,600, I don't remember what. And I thought, what's that? I called them and the lady laughed and she said, there's even a note in the system. We sent you a bill because we wanted to figure out what benefits you had that allowed you to get that MRI for $305. Can you say that again into my audio recorder? So they didn't understand how I got the discount I got. So they're worthwhile. We also have some non-medical benefits, JCPenney, Sprint, if your phone services through Sprint, you'll get a discount through Ameriplan, Dell, and Office Depot. Most important thing for you to know, for you and your business, is it's repeat residual income. Happy customers bring you new customers, which bring you more residual income. Your angry customers, sometimes you never hear from them and you don't know. And that's unfortunate because bad news travels faster than good news. And, is everybody satisfied? No, but we have customers that I personally can say that I have customers on the books from 15 years ago when I started in this business. And that's the repeat wow income. So now before we move on past that, I thought it might be fun to bring up, we've been very patiently waiting to hear from her all weekend. We call her Doc on our team. It's Dr. Taffy Wagner. She is our team's resident expert on the Obamacare program. I know this is like material and you want to go on and you want to stretch and stuff, but this is important for you in the sales of this plan so you really understand what you're offering people. And so if I could ask you, Taffy, to come on up. Dr. Taffy Wagner. I have a few questions to ask you if you don't mind. Okay, so we can come stand over here. Okay, so Dr. Taffy has read every bit of the legislation around the Obamacare program. She understands insurance inside and out. What is the perfect kind of client for Ameriplan, knowing what you know about Obamacare?
So the perfect client is, there's 2 to 4 million people that fall in the family glitch. And that means that one person works and they can't afford to add their spouse and family to their insurance plan, their employer-sponsored plan. And then there's 74 million people who do not have dental insurance. That's perfect for Ameriplan. Okay? And then there's 10,000 baby boomers that retire every day. People do not prepare to not have dental insurance. So those people are perfect. And then there's 48 million underinsured Americans today. All of them are perfect for Ameriplan. Because those people have insurance, which means they believe in paying for something, but they're not getting the benefit of what they have because they have high deductibles, their co-pays are too high. So they're sitting at home sick and won't go to a doctor. Okay, so that they have all those glitches within traditional health insurance.
Okay, so now we're talking about a huge community of people. Now, in Obamacare, how many times have you heard from a client, does this satisfy the Obamacare need? Yeah. It comes up all the time, right? Well, the Obamacare need used to be something where you would have to pay a penalty if you didn't have a health insurance program. What's the case with that now?
So, for 2019, for the federal level, there's no longer a penalty for not having health insurance. However, 4 states have put that in their own individual mandates. That's Massachusetts, New Jersey, Vermont, and District of Columbia. Those 4 have put, and it's already passed. They have to have insurance in those 4 states for 2019, or the state will penalize them. Most people do not know that. So it's important to educate as benefits consultants. We have to know more than the media is telling, because they're not telling those things. And those people in those 4 states are going to be very surprised.
Okay, so now you're learning who our best clientele is. What sometimes makes Ameriplan even better than insurance for people? What, these people that are right under the cusp and such, what might make Ameriplan even more attractive?
First and foremost, understand that, okay, Ameriplan has been here 26 years. So we know what we're doing. And we don't leave people out because of income levels, because of, where they live. We don't base it on income. That's what makes Ameriplan even better. What makes it even better is most people can tell you they can afford $40 a year, for a month, for a whole family. The problem with traditional insurance is that people say, I can't afford what it costs for my family. And when people are contacting you and they're saying, but it's not insurance, the first thing you need to ask them is, do you have insurance now? And if they tell you no, the second thing is, do you understand nobody can sell you insurance right now unless you fall into a special enrollment period? In order to qualify for a special enrollment period, they have to get married, divorced, have a child or adopt a child, move to a different state, or come off of Medicaid, and then they'll go, I didn't know that. So then you tell them, now here's how I can help you, because you don't qualify for special enrollment. You have to educate them. They're calling you, they don't know that nobody can sell them insurance. There's a lot of companies out there that say, oh, well, we can sell you insurance. They cannot. They're selling them catastrophic plans. One of the problems that's going to happen is when they offer short-term plans for 2019, the short-term plans do not have to include the 10 essential health benefits. Do you know what that is? That's prescription. Hello, Ameriplan. That's emergency services. That's ambulatory services. It does not have to include that on the short-term plans that will be offered in 2019. These association health plans that people are so excited about, guess what? They don't have to cover people with pre-existing conditions. Neither do the short-term plans. People do not know that. You guys have a gold mine on our hands. You have to educate them, though, to tell them it doesn't have to include none of that. And they're going to cost less, but they're also going to get less. And the short-term plans, they can actually renew it for 3 years. They're going to get nothing. Do your homework. You're in the educating business. That's what it is. Find out, because people say, it's not insurance. But what is it that you're doing? See, we're in a health care crisis. We're not in an insurance crisis. Insurance companies make money. You're in a health care crisis. What do you need to take care of your health? How many doctors do you see in a year? What prescriptions do you take? What hospitals have you gone to? Because lo and behold, guess what? All doctors don't take health insurance. Okay? Talk to their doctor. What do you take? And ask the doctor, what would be the cash price if I came in? Whether you can't have the health insurance or not, what's the cash price? And then can I get a discount if I pay it off today? They will do that. But you have to know what's getting ready to happen for 2019. It's going to be worse than what it was for 2018. Okay? But do the homework. Know what's happening in your state. Be the one that touches you. It's more than enough business for everybody. Believe that. But know what's happening in your state for the world.
We are so lucky to have her. Dr. Kathy Ryan, thank you so much. One more quick point before I wrap this up is, how many times have you had a patient say to you, but how much does going to the doctor cost on your plan? I get it all the time. Wait, how much does it cost to go to the doctor? And I want to say, how often do you go to the doctor? If you're paying your doctor out of pocket, that is not what's taking your mortgage money away. You go to the doctor, it's maybe $75. We're dealing with the stuff that is going to make you lose your house.
Right.
And we're not in the business of discounting the things that you can make it through. And so please know what you have your hands on when you get out there and talk with people. You won't be able to be quiet. It's like, I have Ameriplan. Let me tell you about what I have. And the more you get educated, the more excited you get about what you've got there. Now, are we giving out more bags before we got our next speaker? Or nah? Should we not? Or should we give out more bags?
More bad.
Yes.
Not?
Yes.
No bags? She must have already won one.
More bad.
We'll give out 3 more bags, Shauna, Santa Claus hater.
Grinch.
Right?